I think about a movie that is tonally consistent. One that comes to mind immediately would be Guardians Volume 3. This movie did, I would say, what Guardians Volume 2 failed in doing. Volume 3 does go back and forth between lighthearted, humorous moments, not ones that are like goofy over the top like you see in Thor Love and Thunder or Guardians Volume 2, but you go between more lighthearted moments and then moments that have animal cruelty in them, with the villain being utterly awful with how he treats Baby Rocket and his friends. So the movie does end up feeling like emotional whiplash, as the pitch meeting by Ryan George rightfully pointed out, but I think it actually worked in Guardians Volume 3. It doesn't feel tonally inconsistent. It doesn't feel like, for no reason at all, we're just jumping back and forth between two different tones. It doesn't feel like For Love and Thunder, an opportunity to explore this deep philosophical question, and then the movie turns into self-parody. It feels like an SNL skit. Guardians Volume 3 doesn't feel like Volume 2, like jumping between Looney Tunes humor and patricide in the same movie, going back and forth between 80s video game sounds and a child being abused. With Volume 3, it actually fits. It makes sense to go between these scenes that have very different tones. Like, you have a moment of happiness followed by a moment of cruelty, of a moment of triumph and satisfaction, and also moments of despair. It actually really works there. And then you think about Avengers Endgame, and the first half of the movie is darker, more serious, because it's about our heroes responding to a tragedy, us seeing how each of them responds to the tragedy that occurred at the end of Infinity War. And then the second half is really a lot of fun. Then you get to the third half, and there's a moment where it feels like all is helpless, but then you have a moment of great triumph and satisfaction where all the heroes come back to team up in order to fight against Thanos. It really works. Also, think about Terminator 1984. That movie is a genre blender, so it definitely goes between different tones throughout the runtime, but it really works there. It doesn't feel inconsistent. It makes sense. So you go from Kyle and Sarah making love to moments that feel straight out of a horror movie, with the indestructible monster going around and killing all these people, or even a moment that feels straight out of a slasher, with the Terminator doing surgery on himself. It really works there.